Hi, it's Claire Saunders from What's New in Electronics, and I'm here at IPC APEX with Joon Lee from ICSN. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Nice to see you, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
No problem. So you've been walking the show floor today. How are things?
Yeah, it's very good, very interesting. Good technologies, new technologies out there, and it was very interesting to walk around.
Fantastic. And tell me a little bit more about your company, what you do, where you're based, and how you're finding things in the US.
Okay, well, we're a U.S. company from Corona, California, and we've been in business for 24 years. And about 12, 13 years ago, we started contract manufacturing from Korea. And then now we expanded into Vietnam. So I have a facility in Korea and Vietnam.
Okay.
And for the U.S. market, we've been concentrating on a lot of mechanical end of it. But I wanted to explore myself to a U.S. electronic market as well, where my facilities in Korea and Vietnam, we've been very domesticated per se because we're a Samsung supplier.
Okay.
And they're doing good, and I don't want to lose any of their business, but I wanted to expand outside of a Samsung requirements. So that's where I'm here.
Okay, fantastic. Well, it's a great place to start looking and trying. Challenges, I guess, if you're looking to promote out into the US, tariffs, I'm going to guess, is one of the main things.
Well, that's the main topic, isn't it, these days,
yeah.
right? And it is definitely a moving target. Everybody talks about it, yet nobody has a conclusion or answer to it. And there's a lot of uncertainties. But, with what's going on, with all the uncertainties, we have to understand we have to sometimes step back and take a look at where are we going as America, right? So all these tariffs, what is the main goal of this tariff? That's a very important thing that everybody has to understand. As number one, we are in debt, right? We're in way too much of debt. And why is that happen? Many other things, a lot of government spending, but also a lot of trade deficit as well. So that's the area that our government is trying to touch on. But when you look at it even further and bird's eye view, I personally believe all those things are targeting China. Right? Because we have two superpower and we're butting
heads
each other.
Yeah.
And we don't want to lose. Right, so everything is really geared to China. So, our industry, everybody's like really struggling to how do we deal with this, right? So, I think there is some other solutions as well that you can work on. But again, we still have to wait for the April 2nd announcement of reciprocal tax issue. But once all those things are laid out, then we can really see whether we can work together from overseas, which countries that we can really work together with, and et cetera, et cetera. But my personal gut feeling is outside of China, it has to be outside of China. It has to be outside of China. So, that's where I come in here with all these geopolitical issues. I think the Vietnam and Korea is Korea especially is an ally of, our government. And Vietnam, even though they're a communist country, but they are in our side rather than the other side. So there's a lot of things that we can work together with.
Yeah.
So I wanted to find a solution for even not only the actual electronic end users, but even equipment manufacturers as well. Because think about it, a lot of these equipments are made in USA, but some of them made in China.
Yeah.
And adding 45% on top of that, they're not competitive anymore.
No.
Right.
No.
So, and I spoke to a few manufacturers. They're thinking of bringing all the parts and components from China and assembly here in the state. That's good, but you still have to pay 45% on those parts and components,
in,
right?
yeah.
So there is another way to do it. But again, we have to wait until this reciprocal tax is laid out, and then based on that, I think there's a lot of solution that we can find. And if anyone has a issue about that, talk to me. I will share my insight, and I will share my kind of expertise on it, and we can come up with some solution, I think.
Fantastic. It's interesting because obviously as a Brit, we see what's happening in the news, and it's always interesting to wake up to different stories of the current government and their decisions. So, like you say, there has to be a way that things can level out, because ultimately every country wants to reduce their debt. They want to generate more revenue. They want to generate more jobs. So, bringing factories back into the US, fantastic. But like you say, if there's going to be a 45% charge on everything that's coming to do that,
Right.
then that's going to stop, and it's going to cause more distrust, I guess, or bad feeling. So hopefully the decisions, but you seem to have a good sort of mindset on this. So
Right. See, unfortunately, our country, we cannot self-sustainable. Meaning, all right, so we manufacture everything here, but all those parts and components are still has to come from
Yeah,
Asia, right? Not even the electronics, or even the hardwares. We don't have enough, let's say, casting foundries. We don't have enough casting foundries, nor no state wanted to add more casting foundries here in the United States because it's very dirty process per se, right? So, there's a certain area that has to continue to be supplied by overseas, even though we make the final goods, but we still have to bring in those parts and component area.
Yeah, exactly. It has to be a sort of a two-way street.
Exactly.
And hopefully it'll balance this out, and hopefully it'll be an improvement for the economy and the relationships between these two powerhouses, like you say.
Right.
Yeah, because nobody likes to lose, but sometimes you have to have a happy medium.
Right. Yeah. But I think our relationship with the Chinese government, especially Chinese Communist Party, it's not easy solution, right? So, and we are competing with them, with the Chinese, technology-wise and everything else. So, the things going on with the China, I think it's going to stick for a while. But those shake up with, for example, USMCA with the Canada and Mexico, or our allies in Europe and allies in Asian countries. I think that's going to ease down as time passes. But I think the China, with the things with the China, I think it's going to stick for a while.
Stick for a while, yeah. Well, let's see what happens. Let's see what we're talking about this time next year.
Yeah, that would be good.
Well, thank you very much for your time, and obviously, if anybody has questions, they should look you up.
All right, thank you.
Take care.
Thank you
very
for inviting
much.
me. Thank you.